Alright, how's it going? I'm That Ginger Photographer. Today I'm just going to dive straight into this video because this is going to be a set of videos rather than just one really long video. And it is all about shooting your first wedding, photographing your first wedding. I started making notes here. I love my stationery, love my notes. Started making notes all about shooting your first wedding, and basically it got that long that this video was going to be way too long. So this is part one in what is going to be 4 parts of a video series all about photographing your first wedding, from prep, contracts, what to do after the wedding, how to deliver images, how our backup images, everything's going to be covered in this. So I've been photographing weddings over 12 years now. Photographed my first wedding for a friend and all I charged for that was petrol money to get to the venue, nothing else. It was a 12-hour day, maybe a little bit longer. I had a second shooter with me. It was a second shooter slash friend that was a bit of backup for confidence more than anything, which was a great idea, by the way. Take someone with you if you can do that. It just feels like the pressure's off you then. And that was when I fell in love with wedding photography, basically. You just go into a party, you got this little ceremony bit at the beginning, and after that everybody is dressed up great, having drinks, having the best time of their lives. It's friends, family, just all on the dance floor, eating great food. What's not to love? It's a great job and I absolutely love it. So a teeny tiny little bit about my first few weddings is, honest to God, I was absolutely crapping myself. Like, my heart would be pounding. I'd be anxious the night before the wedding. In the shower on the morning of the wedding, my heart would be pounding and I'd be thinking, why have I done this? Why have I made this decision? Why are these people trusting me? What have I done? Like, the nerves were just absolutely crazy, but you eventually learn to get over that. You're just over it. It just becomes a normal thing. It's your job. You're just going to work, basically. You know what you're doing. You've got all the gear. You know exactly what to do. And when you get to that stage, you don't feel that kind of nerves anymore. There's still always that little niggle of nervousness and excitement, but that in a good way. It's a really good thing. So there's lots of things that I've learned over the years from doing this. Some of these things that I'm going to go into are only things that I've learned recently, like within the last 2 years. So I'm just going to be going into detail into all these things over this series of videos. And just a heads up, because I know people don't know what to charge or anything, and I was exactly like that for the first few weddings. My first ever wedding that I charged for, I charged £100 and I took a £10 deposit. And what a £10 deposit does, I do not know. I don't know why I did it. I don't know what the thinking was behind it, like 10% of £100. I don't know. I just don't know why I did it. So as I said, this entire video is going to be what to do before the wedding. It's not during the wedding or after the wedding. It's purely before the wedding. You've booked your clients or you're in the process of booking your couples, and this is just what happens in the run up to the wedding. And my first tip would be insurance. Get insurance. It protects you. It protects the venue, it protects the couple. And also in the UK, some venues like English heritage sites and venues, they require you to have insurance. You can't just rock up for the day. You have to have insurance, and they need to see your insurance documents well before the wedding. They request it well before. They go to the couple and they tell them, can you ask your photographer to fill in this form and send us their public liability insurance? Because if you knock over, I don't know, a £4,000 vase, not that I've ever seen a £4,000 vase, but if you break one of them, they're going to your insurance and you don't want to be paying out for that. And again, purely for the fact that you've got your gear covered, you've got your cameras covered, you've got your lenses covered. Break it or somebody nicks anything, you're covered for it, basically. I really hope that doesn't happen, but at least it's all covered with insurance. That's the first thing you should do. Before you even take your camera out the house, get insurance on it. Because if you drop a £2,000 camera and you're not insured, then it's knackered, and you're knackered as well. Number 2 is get a contract. Contract doesn't only protect you, it protects your couple as well, and it's a perfect way of setting expectations. Everything's in that contract. Payment terms, amounts to be paid, how long you'll keep backups for, color correction, editing, what they can do with the images. If they want to go and put bunny faces on them, you might say in your contract you're not allowed to put bunny faces on all your wedding pictures. So get a contract and it just outlines everything for them, and it, like I say, it protects you as well. God forbid a global pandemic hits and you've got couples rescheduling, cancelling, and you had no contract with no payment terms, you wouldn't have a leg to stand on if they asked for all their money back. At least this way with a contract, everything's outlined and you're totally covered where you need to be. There's plenty of websites online. Just Google photographer's contracts. Some people give them away where you can edit them as you want. I think mine was like $20 where you could download it and you could edit it as you want so that it suited you. So a contract is the next thing you should be doing. As soon as you book a couple, send them a contract, and then they need to read through that, through all the terms and conditions, and then everything is covered. And once they've done that, they'll know how much they need to pay as a deposit, when the rest needs to be paid by. If they just decide to up and cancel a week before the wedding, they'll know that if they need to pay the rest of the balance or not. You can outline everything like that in a contract, and it's just so handy and good to have, and it's good business practice as well. So contract. Do it. So you've got your insurance, you've got a couple of wanting to book you, you've sent them a contract, they've filled in the contract and sent it back to you. Number 3, money. Take a booking fee or a deposit, whatever you want to call it. Take a non-refundable booking fee / deposit. Like I said, for my first wedding, for some reason, I took a £10 deposit out of a £100 wedding fee. £10. Couldn't even get a takeaway with that. But that's not the point. Take a booking fee. Some people I know take 20% of the entire amount. So if it was £1,500, they'd take £300. Quick maths, that was right, that as well. So they take £300 deposit. Personally, I take £395. Whatever the amount is for their day, I take a £395 deposit. So if they book 2 years in advance, I take £395 now, and the rest is due in 2 years' time, the month before the wedding. Doesn't matter how much it is, £395 is the deposit. And the reason for £395 instead of £400 is because psychologically people are like happy to buy with a 5 on the end. Like instead of saying 400, 395 is in the 300s. It's only £5 less, but it's still in the 300s instead of the 400s. So it seems like less money, which it is. It's £5 less money, but it seems like more. Clever. Be your favourite meme. And the reason for taking a booking fee is purely because it covers you for that date. So no date can be cleared out until a couple's booked for that date. If you've got a couple saying, can you pencil that out for 2 months? And then you get other inquiries and you turn those other inquiries away. And then this couple's like, actually, we're not going to go with you. We're going to go with someone else. You've lost out on that booking and all those inquiries as well. So don't block any dates out until somebody's paid a deposit and then that date is theirs then. You can get all the inquiries, but you know someone is committed to that date and they're that committed that they've paid you money just to hold that date. And that amount obviously comes off their final invoice. And it also stops them just changing their mind. If they've invested £400 in you and they're going to lose that if they just decide to change their mind and go with someone else, £400 is quite a lot of money just to be handing out to everybody that you think you might go with. So it stops people just dicking you about, basically. I hope. My battery's going to die. So professional. 4. Okay, so they've signed a contract, you've taken a booking fee, the date's now theirs. What you need to do now is send out a booking form. A booking form can be all the information you need. So you can just send this booking form now and you can ask every question you want to ask in the booking form. It's amazing because they'll fill it in as much as they can, which is great, absolutely perfect. Especially the brides and grooms that are really organised and really excited about the day. They'll know everything they want to do and it gives you such a good idea of the day. I get booking forms in that get me so excited for a wedding that's in 2 years just because they're talking about bands and hog roasts and teepees and fire pits and it's just like, it just sounds amazing. So get a booking form, ask all the questions you want to ask, get names, get all the addresses that you need to go to. You can ask for prep times, ceremony times, evening do times, number of guests, if you're going to get fed, if you need to wear a suit or if you can just go casual. Everything you need to ask you can put in that booking form and make sure you keep a copy and send them a copy as well, because if things change closer to the date, all you need to do is ask them to fill in the booking form again, change the answers to the questions, put full addresses for your sat nav, things like that. Everything you need can be in that booking form, so send it across. As soon as you get the deposit, the contract, the booking form goes with it. I also upload all booking forms, contracts, everything like that, invoices. Every couple gets a kind of client portal on my website where it's their name and they've got their own password for that portal. When they log in, they've got their own questionnaire, their own invoice. Everything's going into that client portal. Once the wedding photos are done, they can go into that portal again and links are on there. They can share those links out from there if they want. Their video will be on there, their slideshow, everything will be on that client portal. Any album designs, all they have to do is log in with their name and password. They get their own logins, in the go, and everything's on there. So if they need to go in and change the questionnaire, or if they've got a question about the invoice, not sure when it's due, they can go into there and it tells them everything, due dates, everything like that. It's all just in one place. I'm sure there's Google Guides out there, there's people you can pay to do that, or if you've got any questions on how you might do that yourself or you want to look at one of mine, just drop a message in the comments and I'll send you a link to like a demo one or something and you can log in and have a look around and see what's on there. It's pretty cool. Don't break it though. Don't fill any forms and have me turning up to weddings that don't exist. That'd be crap. So tip number 5, all that's done and dusted, they're all booked in, you've got your booking form, your deposit, your contract signed, you're all good to go. The wedding's not for another 2 years. What do? Keep in touch. That's tip number 5. Don't just take the money and then not get in contact with them for the next 2 years. Just try and keep in touch. It can be one email every 6 months. It can be one email on New Year's Day of the year that they're getting married. and just letting them know that like this is your year, get excited for it, it's happening, it's not long now, that type of stuff. But don't just take the money and disappear and never speak to them for another 2 years when you're going to be there on the biggest day of their life. Just keep in touch. It's not easy to keep in touch with every single person that you've ever photographed, but at least keep in touch on the run up to the wedding and show them that you're ready for the day, you're excited. Ask them if plans have changed in the couple of months leading up to the wedding, things like that. Just keep in touch. Keep in touch. So 1 week before the wedding, I give them a ring and I just go over all the timings, make sure those are all still correct from my booking form. Remember a couple of tips ago, my booking form? I've got it out again now. I'm just going over it with them on the phone instead of sitting in awkward silence. I've got stuff to talk about. So I go over all the addresses. Are you still getting ready here? Oh, great. Are you still having the sit-down meal at 5 o'clock? Oh no, it's 4 o'clock now. I'm so glad I've got this booking form because I can change that. I can change that now. So keep in touch over time and give them a call a week before the wedding and just go over all the final time and make sure everything's still the same. You don't want to be an hour late for anything. I've lost track of what number I'm up to, but another tip is manage expectations well before the wedding. It's better to do that now than at the wedding. Great example of that is if you've got someone wanting sunset pictures in a sunny field and they're getting married in November at 5 o'clock. It's a bit less likely. Can still be done, but it's a bit less likely. So manage expectations now. Let them know, oh, you get married at 5 o'clock in winter. Oh, it's going to be dark by that time. Oh, you know that, don't you? Or we might have to do portraits inside. Or we might have to do group shots inside. Anything like that. Just manage expectations now. If they start sending you example pictures, which is great, I'm not knocking that, but if they start sending you example pictures of places that don't look anything like where they're getting married, like kind of let them know you're getting married in a castle, not in the middle of a city. So your pictures probably aren't going to look like that. Yeah, so it's nice that they're taking the time to send you pictures. Like it's nice that they're taking the time out of the day to make your job easier for you because they know what they want and they're showing you what they want. They're not leaving you second guess. So don't be arsy about it if they do that, but just manage expectations that you might not be able to get these pictures because that's not where you're getting married or because the sun sets at 3 and I'm not coming till 7 p.m, so we can't do that. So my next tip is probably my best tip that I heard about 6 years ago now. It's to do with group shots at the wedding, and all you need to do to take the pressure off you is ask them to make a list of every group shot that they want, however long. Give them a realistic time of how long it's going to take. So what I personally do is I tell them each group shot that you write down is going to be between 2 and 3 minutes, because if you've got a group together, 15 people, and someone's at the bar or someone's at the toilet, it's 2 to 3 minutes for each group shot. So if you have 10 big group shot lists, that's 20 to 30 minutes. And the bride and the groom, or the brides or the grooms, are going to be stood in the middle of that group shot list for 20 to 30 minutes. And they know that if they want all these group shots doing, it's fine, it's totally fine, you'll do it. But this is how long it's going to take. 2 minutes isn't that long, but 2 minutes times 20 photos is 40 minutes. And that soon adds up and it soon gets very boring. So get your group shot list. Let them know realistically how long it's probably going to take for each group shot that they do or write down or want. Friends and family, whatever it is. And then ask them, send you that group shot list and then send it to the chief and bridesmaid, the maid of honour, and the best man as well, or the groomsman. Send it to people who know who everybody at that wedding is. And all you need to do is ask that person on the day to go and round up these people. I don't know who Auntie Jackie is. Do you know who does? Bridesmaid. I don't know who Uncle Tom is. Best man does. So they can go and get them. You can be doing one group shot while they're arranging the next one behind you. Absolutely perfect. Works like a dream. And it's just the best tip, best advice I ever got when it came to group shots, because the pressure's off you. You're not trying to run off this piece of paper trying to find out, Alan! You can just say, Jackie, go and get Alan for me, or whoever they are. But you get the point. So get a group shot list, tell them how long it's going to take, and then give it to people who know who people are at the wedding. And it's one of the best tips I've got. I hope you find that tip really helpful like I did, because if that's the best tip I've got, you might just stop watching now. So that's all my tips for before the wedding. Obviously before the wedding, clear your cards, charge your batteries, pack your bags, get petrol, everything like that. Oh, I've actually wrote that down. I'll go through the rest of these now. So yeah, one massive piece of advice is, if I've never been to a venue before and I'm shooting there for the first time and it's far away, I never really research it, I never really recce it, anything like that. even if it's close, I don't usually recce it. You've seen what other people are doing there already, and you think, oh, that looks good, I'll do that. And then you try and do it. Sometimes it's not as good, sometimes it's better, sometimes it's not as good. Or the people just think, oh, you're just ripping them off. But I like to see it for the first time and actually see it and take it all in and think, that's awesome, that's so cool. Wow, look at the woods. Where does the sun set, guys? That's what I always ask the staff. Where's the sunset? Just point around, just point around. Where's the sunset, guys? The staff know. You don't know. The staff know. You probably wouldn't find that in Google. Everybody has shot for the first time at a venue without seeing it. You don't have to like use places other people used and things like that. Don't get caught up too much. If you want to recce it to settle your nerves and know where things happen, don't get too caught up if it's far away. Don't worry about it too much. That's my point. Yeah, there's the other tip. Back up your cards, clear your cards, charge all your batteries, lots of spare batteries, lots of spare cards. You'll go through so many batteries, especially if you're using flash. Loads of spare AA's. Is it AA's? Yeah, loads of spare batteries for your flash. Things like that, they'll die quickly because you get that excited and they'll die quickly. So just take loads of batteries, charge loads of batteries. Something I like to do is take my chargers and charge them at the venue on their electricity bill. So take your chargers and charge your batteries and stuff there. Costs you less. Also, before the wedding, get your clothes ready, get fuel, you know, set off early, things like that. Plan your route, get your shirt ironed. I never do these things, by the way. This is something like I'll run around on the morning of a wedding, ironing my shirt. Where's my boots? And pack a snack or something for your lunch, you know, like these days are long. Say you get there at 10 a.m. for bridal prep or groom prep, and then the ceremony's not till 12. Then they come out the ceremony. They're not sitting down at 3. They're doing speeches first though, so they're not eating until 4. Then everybody gets served before you, so you don't eat till 4:45. It's a long day to go without 6 hours there, and you're on your feet all day as well. You probably won't get canapes and things. Some venues are lush, they'll keep you fed, keep you hydrated, but sometimes you're in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing to give you. So take a little snack, whether it's nuts, sandwiches, nuts. Take some granola, whatever it is to give you energy, a chocolate bar, boost bar, fizzy drink, anything like that just to keep you going really helps. I've normally got a pack of hula hoops in my car, and then I've got to walk back in at the venue with cheese and onion hula hoops on my fingers. Not really on my fingers, but smelling of them. Awesome, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you took something away from it. Next tips are going to be at the wedding, photographing the wedding at the wedding, arrival, exit, group shots. Speak to the registrars. Exciting tips. I hope you enjoyed that though, and I'll see you in the next video. If you did enjoy this video, I would love a like, a thumbs up, a like down below. Press subscribe. I love you forever. Thanks so much, guys. Love you. Bye.